What's the very first thing that you notice?
See civilization.
Tell me about this civilization.
I see circular, water-filled canals.
What do they look like, these circular canals?
There's pyramids everywhere.
How would you describe them?
White with golden peaks.
Tell me about these golden peaks.
They seem like they're covered in gold, but made of stone, crystal. Like a limestone white, covering the rest of the pyramid. There seems to be a large one in the center of the, looking at it from a bird's eye view. And it's a giant civilization. Seems water is a big part of it, but it's got land as well. There's high technology, yet married with nature and water between the canals, and it's all centralized around this large white pyramid.
Tell me more about the White Pyramid.
There's energy being drawn from it and emitting from it as well. There's a white light coming out from the top of the pyramid. I'm not sure whether it's a visible light or whether it's just light that's present.
And it's like a white light coming out the top.
Yes. It's the central consciousness of this civilization.
How would you describe this consciousness and this in this civilization?
Deeply spiritual, like it's a connection point to other civilizations.
Tell me more about that.
It's like everyone in the civilization is connected to the central pyramid's white light. And it's a central hub of the civilization, revered, respected, integral, necessary.
And since you have a bird's eye view, what does it look like that civilization is like? Do you see people or beings? Do you see anybody there?
Blue skin beings.
How would you describe them?
Arcturian.
Oh.
Skin, greenish eyes, blue heads, oblong sort of shaped, very magical, almost not physical.
And do you notice what it is that they do there? Do you see what they do during their day there?
There seems to be a lot of gatherings, people in meditative states.
Tell me about that.
They seem to be connecting to each other's consciousnesses through their third eye centrally. They don't speak. They do have mouths, but they don't speak.
And how do they
think to each other?
They do what? They think to each other?
Yeah, telepathically.
And how do they all connect with this? So they meditate?
Yeah, they're somehow all a unity consciousness together. They all use the pyramid as their central point of consciousness.
How do they do that? Do you get a sense?
It's through intention and love, high frequency. There is no war. There's no conflict here. Everything is about peace and unity and connecting to higher realms of consciousness and the stars. They're not a society that requires work. Everything is somehow provided for them.
Somehow what? Sorry.
Provided for them through technology. Very advanced, not needing, they only do things that they want to do. There are families and a lot of very spiritual blue beings. It's a very quiet civilization.
Quiet? Is that what you said?
Very quiet, yes.
Tell me about their technology. What do you notice as you look around?
A lot of crystalline and glass-like structure. Very spacey, space age looking. Big monuments, big crystal kind of temples and tall buildings with sharp points at the tops, crystalline in structure. Beautiful. And everything has consciousness. All of these crystal structures are all connected to these blue beings through their
Wow.
consciousness, and they move, they grow, and they expand and contract. They're not static. They have almost like life in the buildings, but there's this unified togetherness that everyone is part of the structure, and there's a lot of greenery, fauna, waterfalls, and streams going through all of these beautiful crystal places, palaces, if you like.
And as the observer there, tell me more about yourself. How would you describe yourself? Can you look down and see if you have feet or no feet there?
I'm one of them.
How would you describe yourself?
I have blue feet. I have 3 toes, 3 or 4 toes.
3 or 4 toes?
Yeah, with toenails. I'm
What are the toes?
wearing sandals.
Oh,
I'm in a robe.
what does your robe look like?
Purpley colour. Very royal purpley colour. Very shimmery. Soft, like satin or silk, but a bit thicker. And
Tell me about your face. What does your face look like?
yeah, like a classic looking Arcturian, I think. I've got small
Could you say that
nose.
again? Sorry.
Classic Arcturian looking being.
Uh-huh.
Long neck, long arms. I've got greenish eyes with very fine eyelids, almost like bug eyes, but not. And elongated head, little dots for ears, but no ears. And very
If,
small chin and small mouth and small
if you
nose.
if you focus in on your body, does your body feel a certain way? Do you feel young or old or healthy or not?
Very healthy. I would say older, but not ancient. Mature. Peace with myself. Very, I'm some kind of spiritual priest or leader or something.
Tell me more about that. You said you feel like you're a leader?
Yeah. I'm the one holding the meditations for the consciousness to connect to the pyramid.
What is that like? Tell me about your meditations.
It's like you're holding hands with everyone, but with your mind connected to them.
So you said you're holding hands, but with your mind connecting?
Yeah, it's like it feels like you're holding hands with others, but you're not actually holding hands. You're just, we're in a circle around the pyramid, like some sort of a ritual.
Tell me about your ritual. How would you describe it?
There are a lot of crystals. I'm wearing a metallic ring around my neck that has a really big red gemstone at its base of the ring. It seems to be signifying my importance in this civilization. It's a beautiful gem.
Tell me about the gemstone. How would you describe this? And what do you use it for?
Ruby red and multifaceted, sparkling a lot. And seems to unify those around me through it. Kind of grounds everyone and brings everyone together, not physically, but at a conscious level, at a deep consciousness level.
The gemstone does this?
It amplifies, it acts as an amplifier. And
where did this gemstone come from?
It was passed down to me from prior generations. It's very ancient, very important for the civilization, very revered.
Do you get a sense where it came from originally?
Not from the same planet that I'm on. Maybe from a different planet.
You say from a different planet? Is that what you said?
Yes. It's a very old crystal, but it's connected to the beginnings of all that is, of all that was.
Tell me about that.
Basically formed in the fires of creation, deep space. I think only legends know where it came from.
Wow.
No one knows for sure.
What'd you say?
No one knows for sure.
Oh. Tell me
Yeah.
more about this meditation that you're doing. So you're in a circle, you're wearing this gemstone with the metal setting, and you're the
Yeah.
leader.
It's like it's required to stabilize the planet, to stabilize what's happening on the planet, because there's some instability, and so this is to bring back stability through unified, conscious intention.
So you unify through this conscious intention to bring back stability. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes.
And do you get a sense what happened to your planet? Why did it lose stability?
I think there was too much technological advance, and we were pushing too much. And the planet was destabilizing because of it.
Oh,
We were trying to bring things back to the way they were.
how did you go too far with the technology? What happened?
Arrogance, thinking we knew more than we did. And too much energy in one spot. Leading to core instability in the planet.
Mm.
But the pyramid is helping, and the meditations are helping.
And is there any particular thing as the leader that you do when you're leading these meditations? Do you notice?
I use the stone to bring back alignment in those that have lost their way a little bit. Bring them back to earthing, if you like, grounding. That deep red stone. And shifts in the consciousness are happening as a result.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm.
And do you get a sense why you are the leader there? Can you tell me more about yourself?
I'm singular. I was basically born into it that was my role from the beginning, was to be that person. for this civilization. I was taught from a very young age and brought into a very like a priesthood, but with these tall blue beings, and they taught me all kinds of things about the universe and how things work. So I'm very knowledgeable and respected at a very spiritual, deeply spiritual level.
Tell me what they told you about the universe.
That everything is mind.
Is what?
Mind. Everything is mind. Everything is our consciousness. We create using our minds. And we have to be careful with what we create with our minds and our thoughts, because they're very powerful. And as quickly as you can create positive things, you can create negative things too. And energy through thought and through mind can be channeled through crystals, through pyramidal structures, through ancient sacred geometry.
Tell me about that. So your thoughts could be channeled through geometry. Is that what you said?
Yes. And crystals form the conduit to enable that transfer of energy. But it's through geometry and sacred shapes that energy flows in certain directions, and vortices can be created and toroidal energy fields can be created, which influence everything else around that thought energy. It's very fundamental and very simple, but also highly sophisticated in so many ways. The 𝘄𝗶𝗶 shape is the base unit of all energy and matter. Two tetrahedrons spinning in opposite directions. And most, if not all, of the technology in this civilization is 𝘄𝗶𝗶 based.
Wow.
Very fundamental, unified energy. And that's how meditation stabilizes the energies on the planet through the 𝘄𝗶𝗶 light bodies that you create.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mm.
And so you were chosen from a very early age and taught and very revered.
Yes. I
So
was
go ahead.
I was dedicated to this civilization through my soul contracts in between lives when I was an etheric energy body. So it was preordained.
Tell me more about that. Why were you preordained and dedicated to this civilization?
Pyramids are fundamental unit of structure across the universe. And all energy can be transferred through these pyramids between different civilizations. And this particular civilization had got to the point where it could harness that energy. But as I said, too much of a good thing can lead to destabilization because planets are not always ready for that level of transfer of energy interplanetary or intergalactic, which is what this civilization was doing through its somewhat greed or arrogance or wanting more all the time. And I was sent there to bring them back to a sense of balance.
And these pyramids could connect with all civilizations? Is that what you were saying?
They connect with it all. There are pyramids everywhere, and they all can connect to each other's energy. They're extremely highly focused vortices of electrons that spin towards the apex internally, which focuses the energy out of the points of the pyramids. And through frequency and harmonics, the energy finds its way out into the cosmos, and through resonant, harmonic, sympathetic, constructive interference will seek out and find similar high frequency energy and connect through the ether, through quantum entanglement.
Wow. And tell me about, go ahead, say that again.
This is what the basis of all pyramids are, and all highly advanced civilizations know this and utilize this pyramidal sacred geometry.
How do they utilize the pyramids?
It's forming energy. It gives energy, so there's no requirement for electricity. It's just harvested from the 0-point energy field. And so predominantly it forms basis of it's the cornerstone of every civilization at a highly advanced level, acting both as energy generation and also spiritual ascension and astral light body transfer of consciousness, Stargate potentiality as well, depending on the size of the pyramid and its energy vortices it can create.
And why were you sent from the ethers? Were you sent to help with this?
I'm a very high frequency being when not in physical form.
Tell me more about that.
I am here to help to stabilize planets. I have no beginning and no end.
How would you describe yourself? Tell me more about this. So you're a high frequency being.
It's more that I am non-physical, pure light energy, connecting to the super consciousnesses of all stars. For all stars are super consciousnesses. They are alive, as everything is. Everything is conscious. Everything is consciousness. And it is part of my job, so to speak, as a celestial gardener or keeper of the peace that needs to be on certain planets, incarnate as certain people to help when they have lost their way, which all civilizations do. Not one civilization does not lose its way at some point in time.
Why is that?
Civilizations are all cyclical. Rise and fall, and rise and fall. Duality exists in the physical realms. This is something that is less of a problem at higher densities, but at the physical level, there is always duality, polarity, hot, cold, black, white, good, bad, positive, negative. There is always that interplay. So sometimes the interplay is imbalanced, and that's where I get called in to try and help.
When you're on this civilization with this crystal, this red crystal, and you're leading these meditations, are the other beings like you aware of who you are and why you are the leader?
At a level that they can experience at their level of consciousness, yes. At the level where I know where I'm from and how I am at a higher frequency, no. Because all beings can only experience what they understand at their level of frequency. And anything above their level of frequency, they may be able to access in meditative states or dream states, but for the most part, they are not capable of truly understanding the expansive nature of high frequency, because you are not one person. You are everywhere and nowhere at once, which for particularly humans is very hard to conceptualize. But nevertheless, that is how it is.
So when you're there at the civilization and you're doing this, tell me more about your life there. Do you have a place where you reside or
Yes.
no?
Yeah, I live in a very beautiful temple with my life in this incarnation dedicated to heightened spiritual activities, bonding with nature, bonding with my people, working on myself, or only yourself. Being worked on can elevate the frequency of others.
Tell me how you work on yourself in this place. What sort of things do you do for yourself there?
Bathing in special liquids that heighten my frequency.
What are these
Special
liquids like?
structured water and water that has certain 𝘗𝗵𝗶 crystal technology dispersed through it, which amplifies my frequency and rejuvenates me as well. And there's a lot of other practices that I would do in this life. A lot
Tell
of
me about it.
almost prayer-like, almost priest-like rituals, but not to any particular God as such as you would understand, but more to the source of all that is. And I would practice movements and energy flow through my body, and similar to what humans here have as qigong, which is a energy practice of ancient Chinese. Very similar to this practice, but at a much higher frequency with a lot more focused attention, to the point where energy, balls of energy could literally be observed from my hands and feet and through my body. I was extremely adept at this style of practice,
Wow.
which others were not. And so thus I was revered, able to manipulate energy with my thoughts and my emotions, and yeah, it was a
Wow. And it looks like, go ahead.
It was a dedicated practice. It was required for who I was. I needed to do it. And it was ongoing, daily practice. The more I did, the better I became.
How did you get started doing that?
At a young age, as I said, I was by these, I guess you would call them priests or highly spiritual collective of these beings that basically nurtured me from a young age, knowing that I was here for that purpose. And so they poured all of their energy and teachings into me. But as often is the case, the student becomes the teacher and surpasses their teachings, which is what happened through this lifetime.
And these priests, tell me more about them. What were they like, and do you notice where they were from?
They were all the same. We were all these tall blue beings. Tall blue beings. They had all the same features. They were the same species, just not quite as high a frequency soul connection.
And so you would do the practice of taking a bath in these special liquids, doing something like qigong because it's energy transfers, and what other things would you do?
I practiced a lot of frequency and sound using special devices that vibrated at special frequencies. And I would use those to create matter, because energy and matter are on the same spectrum. Humans are slowly coming to this understanding that energy and matter can turn into energy is something that we as humans understand, but energy turning into matter is something that is yet to be fully understood by Earth science. However, this particular civilization had extreme understanding of this continuum between matter and energy and frequency, and all the different harmonics of frequency that actually physically create matter.
How does that work?
You see it in sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence is, Earth scientists have actually seen this, where if you have a high frequency sound bubble underwater, at a certain frequency, there's a spark of light that forms from the sound underwater. This is the basis of this transfer of energy into matter, because light and sound are again on the same spectrum, and so sound becomes light, light becomes body. That is the progression of energy transferring from frequency to matter, because matter is just a condensed scalar wave, standing scalar wave of energy, which creates matter. We are all, anything physical is standing scalar energy, condensed through focused attention into what you would call yourself, for example. Nothing exists without focused intention, thought, energy. All is mind, which it comes back to. All is mind. All is thought. Human scientists have touched on this in the double-slit lamp experiment, where the observation of electrons through a double slit behave like a particle when observed and behave like a wave of potential energy when not observed. This is what scientists here have called collapsing the wave function. This is the base unit of consciousness creating matter.
Fascinating. And is there anything else that you do there that looks important or interesting to you?
I live to a very long, drawn-out age, and I was pleased with the state of stability of the planet.
You were pleased with it?
Yes. We did stabilize the planet. And when it was time for me to go, I was ready.
What was that like for you? What was it like when you left that lifetime?
It was peaceful, and death, as humans call it, is but a transition of consciousness. So it is not feared, it's not looked at in any negative way. Certainly wasn't in this particular society, civilization.
How was it looked at in that society? How did your society view death?
Well, most, if not all, beings of this frequency remember their other incarnations, and often will remember in between lives as well. So I knew this was the only incarnation that was required of me in this particular planet, now that my job was done. So I returned to Source.
What was that like?
Beautiful, eternal love, oneness, extremely
Wonderful.
Nurturing would probably be a good word.
Nurturing.
Yeah. Yes, you've got unconditional love. That is the unit of consciousness that everything is formed from.
Could you speak with Source when you're there?
Speak is a very human term, but yes. You commune, you get energy, information from Source. But ultimately, it is still your choice what you wish to do. And
what did you do there?
I rested.
What was that like?
Needed after that incarnation, living a life dedicated to the practices that I was doing was tiresome, and even at a higher frequency, when looking back at it, I was happy not to be physical again for a while.
What is resting like? What was the resting like with Source?
Bright white light. Imagine being in the heart of a star with nothing but etheric, high frequency, beautiful, warm, loving light surrounding every aspect of your consciousness, nurturing and rejuvenating you, preparing you for whatever it is next you decide you wish to go out into the cosmos and experience for your own personal soul's missions.
What did you decide to do next?
What did I do next? I believe I did when I went into Avalon.
Tell me about that.
Avalon. Avalon is the planet of the 𝘗𝘗𝑚𝘄𝑠. Yes. I felt a desire for more raw physical power and strength. I felt I had had enough of the lighter, etheric energy, flowing nature of the Arcturian beings. And I wished to experience the ripping and the tearing of a giant feline beast.
Tell me about that incarnation.
I was one of the litter. We were taught gradually to stand upright, a little bit like human babies learn to go from all fours to standing upright. A similar thing happens in 𝘗𝘗𝑚𝑄 society.
What was it like to learn how to stand upright?
Very much against our nature. But through many generations of evolvement and practice, the pelvic and hip structures have adjusted, and the pelvic tilt had changed to the point where both bipedal and quadrupedal ambulation could be achieved. So we are not humanoid cats. We are cats walking on our hind legs. So a very long torso and shorter limbs, exactly as you would envisage a large tiger on its hind legs. But the morphology of the pelvis and hips have adapted to the point where there is good stability of the hips and pelvis in upright stance. But it still must be taught, much the same as humans need to teach their children to stand and walk. If they are not taught, they will continue to stay quadrupedal.
Are there any that have not been taught there?
No. The 𝘗𝘄𝘄𝘄𝘁 are a proud people, and standing upright is seen as a sign of higher evolution.
See. And how do you spend your time in this place? What sort of things do you do?
Tigers and lions and leopards will always be tigers, lions and leopards and panthers. We like doing all the things that you could imagine a tiger, a lion, a leopard would like to do.
Mm.
We like climbing trees. We like having naps whenever we can. We are astral traveling experts, highly spiritual, highly technologically advanced, and flamboyant. Our architecture is akin to your Roman architecture.
Tell me about that.
And Greek architecture, Parthenons and Colosseums and large pillars mixed with large, very, very big homes, large majestic staircases, but mixed with quite technologically advanced amalgamation. So mixing traditional majestic styles of architecture with highly technologically advanced installations within them.
So it looks like Roman Greek.
Roman Greek, similar to Roman Greek. Our music is extremely high vibration, but very, very loud. A lot of brass instruments, a lot of trumpets and horns, and very orchestral as it calms our etheric bodies.
Oh, wow. And does it sound like it? How would you describe the sound of this music?
Like certain types of very big orchestral musics that you hear on this planet.
Interesting. And what about you? How do you Where do you live there? What is it like?
We have a big house. I have a beautiful wife. Feline beauty is like no other beauty. Your humans, often with your makeup, try and make yourselves look more feline. But the original feline female has beautiful features, extremely feminine, large, long eyelashes. Your mascara mimics their natural eyelashes. Their noses are very pretty and pink often, and their eyes are beautiful.
What is your relationship like with your wife?
Loyal, loving, unconditionally, ultimate support from one another, a deep soul connection. Really experienced.
And so you live there with your wife? Is there anybody else that is there with you?
Yes, I have a daughter.
What is your daughter like?
Naughty. Very naughty.
What does she do?
She just likes to play, and she chews on things, and she scratches things, and she knows not to. Basically exactly like you would experience a house cat being naughty. Very similar, very similar. But good heart.
Oh,
I miss her a lot.
tell me about that. What
After
happened?
when the Draco, reptilian alpha Dracos invaded, there was big war. Unfortunately, they were lost to that war.
Tell me about this. So there was a war. How did it happen? What happened? Tell me more.
The understanding is that the Alpha Draco are not from this universe. And whilst they can be very high frequency now, as most of them are good, and we do have, as 𝘗𝗲, extremely good relationships with Alpha Draconians now. In the beginning, they had a thirst for lower density and domination of the highest species, the most threatening species, which of course were 300 kilo space tigers called 𝘗𝗲. So we were targeted by them and they forced us to spread across the galaxy as they were probably just stronger than us, but not by a lot.
And what happened to you and your family?
Fire. As you know, dragons, just like your Earth legends say, breathe fire. Technically, they do not breathe fire, but they have glands in their cheeks internally near their throat that eject a substance, a liquid, that when combined with oxygen at high pressure combusts. So as they breathe out across this highly combustible fluid, they literally spit like napalm fire out. And of course, as cats, fire was not our preferred means to illuminate things, or we use fire, but not to the level. It's not our preferred energy source. And they took advantage of that, I think. And much of our civilization was affected by their ability to breathe fire.
What about your family? What about you?
I was military, trained, very strong, powerful, and obviously I had to leave my family. I couldn't save them.
You couldn't save them?
I wasn't with them when they passed.
You were what?
I was not with them when they passed. But they were burnt, along with much of that area of the planet and city.
And tell me about you. How did you end up leaving that life?
We had to flee. We had to flee. There was nothing really able to be. We had to flee because if we stayed, they would have destroyed more of our planet. So we decided to flee so that they would chase us, which they did.
Where did you go? Where did they chase you to?
Battalions went all over the star system. Some came from Vega. Vega is the star system. Avalon is the planet that is around the Vega star system. Vega is approximately 4 light years from Earth. So it is very close. So this is where we came, partly, and others went to Sirius constellation, and others went to Orion constellation, and others went to Pleiades M45 cluster constellation.
And you said that they chased you.
Mm.
Did they continue chasing you or no?
It took many, many eons to neutralize them, which we did eventually. But the wars extended to here on planet Earth as well. And there is much remnant of it here in ancient history, megalithic sites. Humans do not fully appreciate just how influential 𝘗𝗏 have been in their society. And we revere Earth, why we have allowed our species at a lesser evolved state of play to be here in your wildlife. Tigers, lions, panthers, cheetahs, and house cats. House cats often star seeds like to incarnate as house cats for a short time.
Why?
Because it is a relaxing life and we get to be close to our Lyran descendants.
Oh. And so
Humans are all Lyrans in descendant. 𝘗𝗏 are the original. And eventually Lyran, which are more feline looking humans, but more human. And all humanoid species originate from Lyran species.
Oh, interesting. Wow. And tell me more about how you left that life. How did you leave that life?
Emergency spacecraft. I personally, with my battalion, went to Sirius B, where we have allies underwater. We are a very proud species, but we knew we needed to accept their help. And only these species were empathetic enough for us to be able to accept their help.
Mm.
The 𝘗𝗏, whilst being highly spiritual, also believe that a strong ego is equally as important, for one cannot help others from a position of weakness or inherent disbelief in oneself. However, to be a strong, apex, dominant species, you must have a strong ego.
Mm. It's very interesting. And so after you went to Sirius B, did you end up passing or no in that life?
No. I came to Earth.
Tell me about that. You came to Earth.
I'm serious. Yes.
Oh,
To regroup, as Earth was deemed safe and near our home constellation of Vega.
when you came to Earth, what was that like? How exactly did you come?
In our large spacecrafts, our crafts are kilometers long, like small cities. So by saying I come to Earth, I simply mean I came to orbit Earth in our craft as we dwell on our crafts when not on our home planet.
Oh, thank you so much. And when you did come to Earth, did you incarnate or not incarnate? What did you do?
Galactic Federation, of which we are members of, have been using planet Earth as a soul school or a zoo, safari of sorts. And we are not pleased with how they are running it.
Tell me about this.
Just like on your planet here, people are awakening to the corruption, the deceit, the duality, the gaslighting of society for ultimate mind control. This is also happening at a higher frequency, at a galactic level. You see, planet Earth was originally used to trap the remaining Draco reptilians. And it would appear that the inmates of the prison have taken over the prison, so to speak.
Oh, interesting. What else do you notice about this?
And unfortunately, the Galactic Federation has also levels of corruption, which we, the 𝘗𝘗𝘵 people, do not condone. We are doing what we can to infiltrate and destabilize the negative, regressive forces on this planet at this time.
What are you doing?
Defying the matrix that is being suppressed on this planet to control the masses, mind control the masses. We are many starseeds here to defy vehemently the establishment of this matrix,
Oh,
to free those that feel as though they are not. We do not condone injustice. We are apex. We are dominant. We are powerful. However, we will always, always protect the weak, protect the innocent. We are not a warring species, but we do not run from war. We are proud and extremely altruistic.
can I ask you questions?
Yes.
Can I ask you questions about Arash?
Sure.
What is he doing in his physical body now? What did he come to Earth to do?
He is here to communicate as much as possible, because all is mind. So he is able to, through his knowledge, through his deep understandings of the universe, he is here to enliven and enable people to remember who they are, who they really are, not what this matrix has effectively tricked people into thinking they are a much lesser species. He has been strategically placed amongst the most revered of your population, amongst not just your healthcare professionals, but your surgeons, for opening another individual's body with their own consent is seen at a higher level as one of the most revered things one is able to do to another at a physical level. So being placed in society where he is, he's able to carefully and gently manipulate the minds of others so that gradually those that were questioning their reality will continue to do so more frequently. And over a period of time, the manipulations and influence, as I should say influence, because manipulation is negative, but manipulations or influence of others' mindsets will result gradually but consistently in an ascension of consciousness, ultimately culminating in a fracture of the matrix and an unveiling of our greater cosmic and galactic heritage.
Do you have any advice for him as he, is here now?
He needs to keep going, keep pushing. Don't let anyone steer him away from his goal.
How does it look like he's doing as far as him being on his path? Is he doing?
He is doing very well. He is doing very well. He has come a long way. He has come a long way.
Why did his dog pass in the way that he did?
He had got lost in the matrix. He was material in his nature. He was not thinking existentially. He was stuck in a rut of recurring cyclical thinking of materialism only. He was sent his little dog Buddy to awaken him.
What is Buddy doing now?
He is keeping an eye on him.
Did he ever have any other incarnations with Buddy before? Or is Buddy going to incarnate with him again later?
He is incarnated with him again now.
Oh.
In his new dog, Bobby.
No.
But he was not part of his soul mission initially. He was brought in to correct his misalignment.
Oh, that's okay. That's really cool. What role does 𝘗𝘗 have in the future ascension of the planet, of the new Earth?
There will be a reset. As I mentioned before, all civilizations rise and fall. We are in the middle of a fall. There will be a collapse. There will be a reset. And only those that have done the inner work, that understand the nature of reality and how all is mind, will be again revered and looked up to for guidance during periods of great civil and societal unrest and collapse. He is a very strong individual who has not yet faltered and will not falter.
He has been told that he is a nexus point and important in the upcoming calamities. What does this mean exactly?
As already mentioned, at a higher level, at a higher frequency, he is part of a collective, conscious, celestial entity that looks after planets.
Okay.
The aspect of source that will enable a stabilization of the planet during the upcoming collapse.
Well, how can people or him prepare for what's to come other than working on himself? Because he already does that. How can he prepare for this?
Electricity is not a given.
Okay.
So it would pay to learn how to function without electricity for a short to medium term. Food preparation, storage, and preservation are also imperative. Learning older techniques of refrigeration, such as underground clay pots, using the earth as an insulator, will assist many. Farming techniques, understanding how to grow food, will also be a valuable tool.
When does it look like these calamities might happen?
Somewhere in between the years 2036 to 2042. However, this cannot be known for sure.
When he was a baby, he used to go to the window at night and speak in a different language. It was not human. Who was he speaking to?
I was speaking to as a baby, 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗 is the tall grey that he has been speaking about. 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗 has been carefully nurturing and watching over him. He is soul contracted to assist with the hybridization program, who again will be an important and influential person when these new species rise to the surface, for he will be telepathically connected to many, many of the children.
When does it look like these children will rise to the surface? And where are they right now?
They are deep in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in underwater facilities. They are being taught ways of human and collective understandings of life on Earth. However, the Earth's frequency is not yet ready for their presence to be open.
What kind of language was this that when you were speaking with him?
A form of light language, verbal telepathic, several words loaded with telepathic meaning.
Where does this light language come from?
The ancient greys created much of it, but at a higher consciousness level, it is more akin to source code, if you will. I understand it upset his parents very much, but he knew he must continue to gain insights into his mission and his understandings of his role with the Greys.
Is there anything else about that you want to tell him?
Just that he is watching, always watching.
Is he an ET in an immersion pod somewhere?
He has been shown immersion pods. It is not for him to know at this time.
Okay, why not?
He has a mission to complete. He does not need this distraction at this time.
Well, is he a star seed?
Yes.
Which ET race?
𝘗𝘄𝘄𝘗.
Okay. According to 𝘗𝘄𝘄𝘄, he's part of the Gray hybridization program. How many children does he have?
His DNA has been spliced into a whole generation. So he is effectively related to all of the sixth hybridized race at a fundamental telepathic level.
How can he connect with them?
Through meditation, through focused intention. 𝘗𝘄𝘄 has communicated several meditation practices which he has been avoiding, as I feel he has not fully embraced that connection, and he knows that should he get more involved with those meditations, that he will connect.
Why has he been avoiding them?
Fear. But he's now ready.
Why was his family chosen for this program? Why his family?
Genetically, they are of very high purity DNA. Of ancient Babylonian or Sumerian heritage. The Greys first interacted with the human race in ancient Sumerian and Babylonian time, as that's who they were originally closest to from a genetic point of view. And so those on the planet that have genetic lineages from this ancient civilization are our preferred option for DNA splicing.
And did he agree to this or no?
Of course, all is by agreement. This is what the communication was in the windows as a toddler.
Does this connection, or does this doing this experiment or creating this race help him in any way?
Yes, he will become the bridge between the new civilization and the old civilization. This is his purpose and importance.
Is there anything he needs to understand about this?
He is impatient, as all humans can be. He is working on himself, and as his consciousness expands, the time will come where he will be connected to them in a much more free-flowing way when he is ready.
Is Marie? What?
He is on the right track.
Is Marie Soirou's content from the Tibetan Pleiadians correct?
Marie Soirou is a very special soul. She has the rare ability to remember multiple past lives in her current incarnation, which makes her much wiser than her years. He is interested in her information, as the 𝘗𝘗𝘵 people have a great affinity for the Tibetan and Pleiadian races.
Oh, okay, so that's why he's interested.
Yes.
Is there anything about her information that you would like to tell him about?
Marie has a special ability and understanding of the lower astral. This is the negative, regressive aspects of what is going on planet Earth at this time. It is all surfacing. There are much negative lower entity attachments throughout all of your human governments, politicians, Hollywood stars, and the music industry. Your conspiracy theorists speak of this as satanic, ritualistic behaviors. However, this is a simplistic view. What it is actually is lower astral entities feeding on low consciousness individuals, or individuals who quite literally sell their soul to these lower astral entities that are regressive and feeding on the planet at this time. However, Mother Gaia herself is in the form that she is unhappy with this. And she, just like we want to ascend, she wants to ascend. And as your beloved Dolores Cannon has said, we'll shake off the fleas like a dog when the time comes. At the moment, we are seeing last-ditch attempts of these regressive entities trying to hold on to these structures and societal influences. However, as it can be seen, they are collapsing. Gone are the days where people on this planet look up to these figureheads in the aforementioned Hollywood, music, and political arenas. Collapse is imminent. And once the collapse happens, this is when there may be a more celestial event to cleanse the planet.
Tell me more about that.
It is likely to come from the sun. The scientists on your planet have noticed we are in a solar maximum. And over time, the high frequency energy coming from the sun is upgrading both the planet and all of its inhabitants, which will make it, and is making it, inhospitable for lower regressive, less dense entities.
Okay. Well, will there be a contact experience?
Yes.
Is that still happening in 2026, like Bashar says, or no?
It is possible that it may happen earlier at the current trajectory.
Oh, wow. Okay. What is Arash's role in that? And how can you prepare for this?
He is already being contacted by many who previously were ridiculing him about such things as unusual dreams, unusual experiences, unusual sightings of extraterrestrial or UFOs, as you call them. He will be someone that when the time comes, people will ask for guidance from, as he is and always has been an early adopter and a seer of truth, which is in his nature.
Is there anything he needs?
Higher frequency.
Does he need to prepare for this in any way?
He needs to make more of an effort in his muscular strength, as physical strength will be important.
Why?
Things will change. We will regress for a short period, where the strongest and most fierce are the ones that may endure.
Why is he so drawn to crystals, especially moldavite and amethyst?
These are extremely high frequency conscious entities. He needs them to remind him of who he is. Which is not a physical body. They communicate to him at an unconscious and deeply subconscious level and help him transmute negative energy to positive energy.
Oh, wow. How do they do that?
Through their frequency. They have very high frequency, and through simple frequency harmonics, a dominant frequency always trumps a negative or a lesser frequency.
What was he, a shaman or a crystal healer in a different incarnation, or no?
He was the son of a shaman in an incarnation in the Hopi Indian tribe in Arizona.
Oh. Is there anything he needs to understand about this?
He needs to continue with his work, with his crystals. He needs to continue following his intuition.
Okay.
Which will serve him, as he is starting to realize now. It has taken much work, but I am pleased that we are there.
Well, you showed him that lifetime as the 𝘗𝘗𝑚𝑜. What does he need to understand about that lifetime, and why was he shown that? Why was he shown that lifetime?
This will come to pass soon. He will understand the connection soon. That is all I can say at this point.
What is the connection?
That is all I can say at this point.
Why?
He has a mission, and he must focus on his mission.
Okay. Well, he was curious about finding a partner in this lifetime, and he's wondering if maybe he hasn't because of that past life where he lost his daughter and his wife. Is this why, or is there a different reason why he hasn't met his soulmate yet?
His soulmate is unlikely to be human.
Okay.
He must be patient.
Will he have a relationship this lifetime?
Yes.
Okay. And
not
but
not yet.
But not what?
Not yet.
Why? Why not yet?
He has work to do.
Is he doing his work?
He is.
When will he meet this person?
He will meet this person in the years to come.
How will he know it's the right person?
He will know.
Is there anything he needs to do in order to meet this person? Any work he needs to do?
The time will come and she will be there and he will know. He's doing what he needs to do at this stage. There is no rush. Time is of no essence.
Mm. Can you do a body scan on him and scan his body and look deep into his body?
We are doing it.
What?
We are doing it now.
Thank you. Why is he allergic to cats?
It is to keep him on track.
Tell me more about that.
Cats are a distraction. He has a mission and he must fulfill his mission.
Does he need to be allergic to cats still?
Yes.
What is the very root cause of his asthma? The very root cause?
He is a high frequency being with very difficult or different respiration. Earth's atmosphere has not been conducive to his respiration in his younger years, and it took time for his body to adapt to the oxygenation levels of this planet.
Does he need the asthma anymore now that he understands this? Is there any other purpose for it?
He no longer has asthma. It is a psychological.
Oh, can you release it then for him fully from his mind and from his body then? Since he got that.
It is done.
Thank you. What is the very root cause of his issue with his knee that seems to travel within his family?
It has to do with his 𝗲𝗯 heritage.
Tell me more about that.
When felines stand upright, well, firstly, feline 𝗲𝗯 are extremely clumsy. They are identical to your house cats.
Mm-hmm.
Your internet is filled with videos of cats doing ridiculously clumsy things and silly things, falling off platforms, bouncing off things, jumping and collapsing. 𝗲𝗯 are no different. And in the transition from 𝗲𝗯 to human, the knee joint is reversed. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Wow. Okay, that's very interesting.
His entire family are 𝘗𝘗𝘄𝘗.
Um, that's interesting. Well, now that he got that message, can you release this and heal his knee for him?
His knee is relatively healed. However, it will take more frequency related technology to completely remove the metallic implements that have been used in his prior reconstructive surgeries.
Could you heal that for him now?
It is done.
How does the rest of his body look?
He is in very good shape.
Good.
His recent choices to remove all toxins from his body and to not continuing drinking poison have been greatly beneficial.
Do you have any advice for anything he could be doing, or any advice on anything he's doing that is not beneficial?
In general, we are happy with his progress. His views of what others think of him should not concern him.
What should he do about people that do not like him?
Send them love. Thank them for showing him that he has not been loving himself enough, and that they are but a reflection of him.
Okay. Do you have any other messages that you want to share with him that I didn't ask, that you want to tell him?
When he has been experiencing higher states of consciousness during yogic flying, he needs to understand that yes, we have been cheering him on and watching him from afar. He needs to continue with his high frequency activities and pursue what is his highest passion. He understands this more so now than he did or ever has.
Is there anything else you wanted to tell them?
That will be all at this time.
Okay. Thank you so